Hello and welcome to Morlvision 2021. I am your host, Sean Morley, and I'm joined by my very special guest and good friend, Terry.
Thanks for having me, Sean. As you can see from my voice and this stuff in my hair, I am clearly Terry Wogan, and it's my pleasure to be with all the togs tonight to celebrate the first annual Morlvision.
Well, it's not the first annual Morlvision because, of course, we did one at some point towards the end of the 20th century. In just a few moments, we will be showing a little clip from that and reminiscing on the past.
Yes.
This is a fully decked out song contest featuring several continents. Thank you very much for the gifted subs and the resubscription, KingOfThyme. We will be having a fully electronic voting system, and we will be seeing 25 acts, I think. 3 people have failed to submit and therefore are not in the running, but we do have 25 acts.
25, you say 25 there, Sean. I believe that I may have submitted one of my own.
I haven't got you down as an entrant, Terry. I don't think you're in it. You're down as a host.
A host can sing as well. Many a host has sung in the past.
A host can sing, but you can't compete. I don't think you can compete. You can sing maybe at home, or
I am at home. But to sing at home on the show, Sean.
Well, you're physically at home, but you're in a real way. You're at work, aren't you? So.
Well, that is true.
I just don't think it's fair for you to host and be in it. Do you know what I mean?
Sean, I've already written my own song. It's taken me 30 years to write and sing. I poured my heart and soul into it, my blood, sweat, and tears, and other. Why not? What do the boys and girls think?
We can't. We don't have the. Listen, I'd have to pay the staff extra. Where's that money going to come from? This donation goal up here, if people go to bit.ly/morltip, they can donate to pay the staff overtime so that Terry Wogan can participate in Morlvision. No way, mate. It's just not going to happen. It sounds implausible.
Only the people of Twitch would contribute towards the national living wage of your non-zero-hour contract employees. I'd be able to sing my little ditty that I've prepared so lovingly for you all.
Personally, I think just pluck the thought from your mind. I can't see anyone going to bit.ly/morltip so that Wogan can compete. And I think maybe we should move on to other things. Maybe we should think about the past, where look back on Morlvisions of the late 20th century. In fact, I've got. Do you remember when we had the North Waves? Thank you very much, Raspy Panda, for that follow.
I know you said. I do remember that. The reason that I said this was the first annual Morlvision earlier was because I have lots of problems, because reviving from the dead is sure to wreak havoc with my temporal lobe. I do remember that particular band, yes.
Okay, glad we've entered it into canon that you've got brain damage.
I'll have you know, Sean, that the Terry Wogan lore is extensive, and wanted to check out the wiki, then we were looking for contributors.
I don't think we need a Terry Wogan wiki. Thank you very much, Barry Togan.
Disagree.
One of your fan groups, I think. Well,
thank you.
I'm going to send my mind back in time and remember, Maggie FBK, thank you very much. It feels like maybe you will get a chance after all. I'm going to remember one of my favourite songs from previous Morlvisions. Okay, Terry singing is confirmed. Okay. Well, I think I lowballed it. There. Okay, well, all right. Yeah, I think I lowballed it. Never mind. I lowballed that. Well, I'm going to remember... Okay, I lowballed that. Just a bit of a lowball. I forgot. I kept it 60 and forgot to check how many people were watching. 60 was obviously ridiculous. Lowballed this. Just wait for these to clear. Wait for these to clear, and then we'll take a trip down memory lane.
We have too many donations.
Okay, well.
We have too many donations.
Yeah. Okay, well. Just wait for this to clear, I think. Yeah. Just okay. All right. Well, just wait for this to clear, I think. What a thing to be interrupted by. A procession of money asking for Terry Wogan to sing. Okay, thanks everyone.
I would like to point out to Catbox Man in the chat that just because we've got above the goal does not mean that I am going to have to stop singing at some point. It's not like if you donate £600, I'll have to sing for 10 times as long, because that would destroy my already tenuous grasp on these vocal cords.
How much do you think we should...
Thank you for getting EWBD trending in the chat, which I believe stands for Terry Wogan brain damage.
Don't get that trending.
It's too late. It was already trending.
Please stop tipping and stop saying brain damage. Please.
I think we're less than 10 minutes into the stream, Sean, and already it's completely fallen apart.
I've lost it.
Do we have...
It's covering my face. Stop! Don't say Terry Wogan brain damage. I don't want that in the... Do you know, we said no story, we said no narrative, this is just a song contest. No story, no narrative. Okay, people are playing Puppy Song now. Should have disabled that for this stream. Okay. Just gonna wait for
let's keep this hype train
Please,
going.
guys, don't redeem the Puppy Song, please.
Well, seeing as we've got so many donations...
Puppy can't actually be activated during songs, so it won't be possible.
I mean, should we stretch to another... Is there a stretch goal we can go to, Sean? Or shall we make one up on the spot?
I don't think I should...
What happened is that 100 people at the same time all donated £5. So I think we might have £500 worth of donations. It would not surprise me. Dawn's disappeared from the screen entirely. I think he's gone off the bank account just to cash in and run away. Charlotte Gilbert in the chat saying this is a lot. Yes, it is a lot. It's not how we were expecting you back. Someone said, yes, people in the chat were calling for Wogan's World. I think it's Wogan's time, Wogan's solo mission, but Dawn's back, so I'm happy to bring you in.
Terry's Wogan's agent asked for every song to be sung by Terry. Well, I'm just going to cast my mind back to memory lane and remember a golden... Please stop tipping, guys.
Do you ever think, Sean, that you'd be on Twitch asking people to not give you money?
Stop tipping, just donated £10.
We've been on stream for less than 15 minutes, and we've already raised £200.
This is the most lucrative anything's ever been, and it's really annoying.
It's completely just getting in the way of the stream.
Of course, and we all remember in the last Morlvision, back in the late 20th century, there was, of course, the North Waves with Can I Have a Baked Potato? Simply an emblematic, nostalgic bit of Morlvision. Let's get away from the tips for a second and enter a scene where I haven't enabled the overlay.
Has anyone got a baked potato? I can wait for a baked potato. How long can that take? It's a baked potato. Cool. Blimey, I want a baked potato. There must be catering here for a baked potato. There must be money here to get me a baked potato. How long could that take? An hour baked potato. Leave it in for 2. It's a baked potato. Don't put anything in my baked potato. No butter, no salt, just baked potato. Bloody hell. I'd love a baked potato. Hey, it's nothing fancy, just a baked potato. From the east to the west, we'd love a baked potato. North, south, somewhere in the middle, baked potato.
One. And that was the North Waves with Can I Have a Baked Potato, Please?
Classic song there. Of course, what really happened, it's a bit of dramatic irony really, is because they asked for baked potatoes so many times during the song that they were inundated and were actually crushed by thousands of baked potatoes lovingly given to them by fans.
The tips have not stopped. The tips have been going throughout that entire song. They're still here. While they rumble, this is pretty extreme. Thank you so much. I'll think of a stretch goal and a figure at some point. This competition is going to be have an electronic voting system. In fact, if you type Morlvision with an exclamation mark in the chat, you'll see a short explanation and you'll see the link to go and get involved in tonight's voting. irobot.com/Morlvision. And from there we will learn about the songs that we're going to hear. You can vote. Every song can get a ranking up to 5. You'd rate things out of 5 depending on how much you like them. Do try to hear the song before you rank it. And at the end that will all be tabulated and collated into a score.
Absolutely.
And it works on mobile as well. If people are seeing error screens, please send those comments to Charlotte Gilbert. Full trust Charlotte Gilbert, but also the only person that can fix.
This system is wonderful in action, and I will vouch for Charlotte, who built it for us. I also tried to log in and got an error message. That might just be because my internet is terrible. I have it hooked up to a lemon for electricity, you see. I can afford to pay the bills.
Charlotte, if you want to advise on whether we should take a moment for that to be fixed, I'm happy chilling out with my friend Terry here.
Oh,
absolutely no rush on my part here.
Yes. How are you, Sean? How's your life been keeping?
My life.
Hello.
Is fine. Oh, Charlotte is here. Hello.
Ooh.
Hello. The server is crying at me, and I don't know why, but I'm gonna see if I can fix it. Please hold. Please stand by for further technical assistance.
Standing by.
Godspeed, Charlotte Gilbert.
Now that people have maybe had the wind of their sails removed by the tips goal, should we just have a Wogan Spider-Man dance tips goal? Think that'll be sufficiently motivating.
Could you clarify? Would this be done on? This be done on stream? And what would the financial incentive be?
I think if we get up to 300s, you do the we do let Wogan
300. 300 seems like it's eminently achievable, and we might already be that. Could I suggest that
there's no point setting a goal that we can't reach.
Please. Could we put a goal is that there's an element of doubt that we might reach it to provide a sense of tension as whether or not we will. So put it 300.
320
instantly, and then I will.
It's already getting reached. It's already getting reached.
Not.
People are paying, but they don't know what they're paying for yet.
This is what. Can we?
320. Look, I've listened, and I've made it 320. I've made it 320.
Sean, we got 240. Sean, we got 240 pounds in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was 320 for Spider-Man.
Sean, we're gonna reach it.
We might not. We might not. They might have all. They front-loaded it. You know, there was a moment,
Sean,
and that's passed.
Sean, we've
so
got
probably
3 hours. We've got 3 hours to race.
I think people have took it out. You know, they've spent it all. You know, when you go to the penny slots and you just splosh it, it might not happen.
Right, fine.
It's not a hard dance. It's not a hard dance. It's just down there.
It's like it's a relatively difficult bit of movement, and it's quite long. And I'll be honest, I'm not. Right,
It's
fine.
just down there. It's not hard.
I'm not going to win this, so I'm not going to try.
Do you want me to slow it down? Do you want me to slow Spider-Man down? Would that in any way help you? Half speed, maybe?
Well, I mean, whether or not I'm doing the dance is yet to be confirmed, surely. When it comes to it, it's quite long, Sean. Sean, it's quite complicated long.
That's why I've slowed it down. If it's too fast, it won't, it won't settle on the brain. I know you've hurt your brain.
TWBD in the chat.
What does
don't forget, if you're just tuning in, please do not give us any money. Please.
No, you can't say that. Don't say that.
For the sake of...
Don't actually say that, though. It's been a lot of work going into this.
That's true. That's true.
Speaking of a lot of work, I have another technical announcement.
Hello.
The server is very upset, but it is allowing people occasionally to sign in. So once you signed in, you signed in. It should say voting closed because the voting is not yet open. But do keep retrying. It does appear to be sort of working, but for some reason the server's just unhappy, and I don't know what it is. It's had a hard day. This ends the technical support announcement. Thank you. Sorry.
We've
bye.
all had a big day. Please FTCG in the chat for full trust, Charlotte Gilbert. Can I get a sounding for people in the chat? Are you being allowed into the voting system? What is happening when you try to sign in? Okay, we got one person in. Yes, I'm in. Yes, I'm in. Yes, why? I'm in. I'm not going to give you a sounding, Sean, but I am in. I'm in. I'm seeing successes and failures. I've not seen a single failure. I've read out everything that pertains.
Admittedly, I tried to log in and I just failed. And as an entrant, as a newly confirmed entrant,
You're not an
I don't
entrant.
know if I'm necessarily...
Sneaky pick. I'm in. I'm still not in.
Go on. We got the money.
All good. Not working for me
Wogan is
yet.
allowed to
I'm
sing.
not in, but I'll keep trying. Not me. I'm in. An error's in effect. I'm sorry, everyone. Well, what do people think? Shall we give it another 5 min, or shall we progress and people can catch up as the server lets them in? Cowbag has not tried.
I've just been let in as well myself. Even though I'm not allowed to vote because I'm an entrant.
Catch up makes sense. Shall we begin with the first song?
I think we should crack on.
It looks like people are trickling in. Our first song is going to be Extraño Calcetín by KingOfThyme, representing Time and Spice. So we can see the Time and Spice flag here. And everyone who participated received a prompt created by someone else in the community. And so KingOfThyme's prompt was either the video or the song has to be about socks. I'm explaining the prompt system now. Everyone who participated created a prompt. Those prompts went into a tombola and everyone had to make something, got a randomly allocated prompt. The order, I would say, is semi-random. I scrambled it to begin with and then moved things around so that songs that I felt were similar or had a similar tempo or vibe aren't next to each other so that it remains diverse energy at all time. Without further ado, here is the first entrant of Morlvision 2021 KingOfThyme with Extraño Calcetín. Inspired by the video or the song, has to be about socks.
Extraño calcetín, my extraño calcetín, unmatched until the end, red and green. I feel you in my soul, I feel you on my soul. When we go toe to toe, I am whole. It's a Extraño calcetín, my extraño calcetín, unmatched until the end, red and green. I feel you in my soul, I feel you on my soul. When we go toe to toe, I am whole. Extraño calcetín, my extraño calcetín, unmatched until the end, red and green. I feel you in my soul, I feel you on my soul. When we go toe to toe, I am whole.
And that was our first entrant into this year's competition.
Fantastic entry. Now, I looked it up, and Extraño Calcetín means lost socks. Which is good, because I thought it meant estranged calcium. But then the brain damage has also spread to the linguistic part of my brain.
Stop adding more detail to this element of your character. Can you tell me which word means which thing in Extraño Calcetín?
Yes.
Now?
Oh, yes. So, extraño means lost.
Oh, estranged,
Calcetín.
right, I get it.
And calcetin means socks. Or at least I assume it does, and not calcium.
I don't think it would be calcium.
Well, it might be calcium.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be.
If you could confirm in chat whether or not calcetin means socks or calcium.
Yeah, I'm sure that will put the matter to rest. Can I check if the voting is working for everyone? If there's anyone who currently can't get in, or it's not quite working. Cool. It sounds like to me enough people are in and it's functional that we should proceed. Yes, but I'd explain it. So when you get in, you'll see a screen that contains all the songs on them. You hold the voting button down for maybe a second and a half. That gives it a a pip of love, a cube of admiration. You can rank every song up to 5 of these cubes, and at the end, it will sweep all those numbers away and work out relative rankings.
Eurovision system of voting is airtight, as I confirmed when I confirmed my entry with Sean just now.
Yeah, well, we'll work on trying to get you a slot in this. I'll make a note and we'll come back to this.
Thank you so much.
That was our first song of the evening. Now let's move on to our second, which is All Property is Citrus by Eddie Hurst. Inspired by the prompt Get Away from Terry, He Is Mine, representing the region Northumbria.
Sentiment that I can also echo as well.
What, that Terry is yours?
Well, he is mine in the sense that he is me.
We all own ourselves.
In a way.
Yeah, PD's put it the best. Terry is autonomous.
Here we go.
Yeah. Here we go. This is All Property is Citrus by Eddie Hurst, inspired by Get Away from Terry, He Is Mine.
I know you're hungry like a bear at a picnic. I know you're hungry like a wolf at a deli. I know you're hungry like a duck at a bakery. I know you're hungry like a fox at a meat raffle. But this buffet is over, so you better walk away. You've taken some of me, and you won't give it back. You can have his orange, all his citrus fruit, in fact. You can have my home, my car keys and my shoes, but there's one thing you'll never get, so don't even try. Get away from Terry. He is mine! They're not mine, they're Terry's!
And that
Fantastic
was
song.
our second competitor of the night, Eddie Hurst with All Property is Citrus.
Lovely stuff. You know, I've never actually had a Terry's chocolate orange.
Never?
Oh, never. I have a great difficulty processing chocolate. It's affected the taste center of my brain.
Stop it! Stop it! Develop. You've got a very simple character to be. It's already a well-known person, and every time you're given an opportunity to develop anything about him, it's fully it's more symptoms of the brain damage. Just anything like preferences. What did you do at the weekend? It doesn't always have to be like brainstem rot. There's got to be more to this guy. He's a beloved Eurovision commentator. Yes, he's dead, but he's well. You know, can he be dead but well?
I don't know.
Terry Wogan, dead but well. Get it in the chat.
Right. Maybe I'll try Terry's chocolate orange then. See if it's all healed up there.
Stop it.
I'm rolling it back now. I'm rolling it back.
Don't
I'm
mention it.
Okay, fine. I hope I remember that. Because you see.
Moving on, we have... Oh, Dead But Well has just donated to say it's true. He has it. I'm glad the tips are covered up.
Don't lie.
Here's our third track, Moon is Love by MT. Inspired by the prompt, when the moon hits your eye, it leaves a moon-shaped bruise, representing the Sheffield borough of Heeley.
Oh, impressive.
Any Heeley massive? Heeley massive in the chat?
Worn Heelys.
You've worn Heelys?
Yes, not in Heeley, but in the sort of Chesterfield area.
What do you, as an adult, you wore Heelys in Chesterfield?
Well, what else to do?
That's true,
Downhill?
actually, yeah. Good to take Chesterfield down a peg.
Yeah. Yeah. You teach them.
Get 'em. Got 'em. Okay, so this is our third entrant of the night. Moon is Love by MT, inspired by when the moon hits your eye, it leaves a moon-shaped bruise.
Take it away.
When the moon hits your eye, all that's left is a moon-shaped bruise. And I know it hurts now, and it's not what I choose, but in time it'll improve. Because love means love, and love hurts. But with you, I feel new, like the moon. Because love means love, and love hurts. Love hurts. Love is love, and love is like the moon. Love is love, and love is like the moon. Love is love, and love hurts like the moon. Love is love, and there is light like the moon. Love is love, and it's at night like the moon. Love is love, and they put love on the moon. Love is love, and it depends on the moon. Love is love, and it is scary like the moon. Love is love, and it can bruise like the moon. Love is love, and it hits asteroids like the moon. Love is love, and the tides depend on it like the moon. Love is love, and it's far away like the moon. Love is love, and Elon Musk will go there to the moon. Love is love, and I can see it like the moon. Love is love, and love is the moon. Love is moon, and moon is love like the moon. Moon is love, and love is blue like the love. Love is love, and love hurts like the moon. Love is love. 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 Love is love.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I never really thought about it before. But love is like the moon.
Do you know what really got me is learning that love is love as well.
It is also true, but I think
That's
that love is more
watertight.
like the moon.
Yeah? In
Better
what way?
analogy is to say it's more like the moon, I think, than love.
It's probably not as descriptive, but it's more watertight. Like you can't come back at that, can you?
No, that's true. You'd be a fool to try.
You'd be a fool to try. You'd be out on your ass.
We'd send you to the moon.
That's murder, isn't it? That's a form of murder.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is a form of murder. Yes. Yeah. When you put it like that, if anyone is denying that love is love, well, it doesn't matter.
I think if you sent someone to the moon, you can't really pretend you think they'd be okay.
Sending someone on the moon is not mutually exclusive with sending them in a spacesuit. You just sort of send them there and then let them do what they do.
What, forever?
And then they eventually, when they'd come to realise that love is like the moon.
But they also realise they can't terraform on their own, just send up in one shuttle. There's a limit to that excursion.
Love. I think the message of the song was very much, you don't need to terraform if you have love. That was the subtext that I read into it anyway.
I mean, I dispute that as a fact, but I don't want to come across as an anti-love Scrooge, so I'm going to drop it entirely.
Fair enough. But you don't dispute it as an opinion.
I just don't have there's no political will to continue the argument.
Fair enough.
Oh, see, people saying I hate love now. No, I just love science. No, that's not a good position these days. That's not a good position these days. Next song, I think.
Next song. Let's move on swiftly.
Oh, completely. Yeah, before I'm sure Morley Hates Love's already trending. Okay, well, here we are at number 4, Shopping Trip. Created by Nicky and Nicky's dad. Inspired by the prompt Asda Cafe. This track is representing Derbyshire. You ever been to an Asda Cafe?
I've been to an Asda Cafe. Yes. Yes, I believe I ordered some beans.
Beans?
And they came with sausages and some hash browns.
Mm.
And they put some buttered toast on the side along with an egg. And they gave me a cup of tea.
That's a lot of sides for beans.
A lot of sides for a single portion of beans, but
Yeah.
that's the way they treat you. That's the way they treat you if you're Terry Wogan at an Asda Cafe.
Right, for me they just come in a little ramekin.
Ramekin? No, my beans were served on a sort of flat, a flat plane made of enamel.
A plate.
That's the one. Sorry, it's the it's
No.
Yes. No, big fan of Asda Cafe. Big fan. Biggest fan, actually.
This is Shopping Trip by Nicky and Nicky's dad, inspired by the prompt Asda Cafe.
Here we go.
Every childhood has a memory of Asda where we would go with our grandparents in tow. No one ever talks of the bleeding knives and forks, or when Uncle Jim's
that was Shopping Trip. Terry, have you ever tried psychoactive recreational drugs?
Well, I have, actually. Funny you mention that, because that song chronicled the second half of my story about the beans. The first half happened when I ordered the beans and all the sides on the sort of spherical plane, and then the events of the song transpired. I was sort of sitting a little bit to the left of where it was happening.
Okay, you've entered the canon of one of the songs.
Well, it's the canon in the sense that it's true. As I actually have all the songs been so far. All the songs exist in the same world.
Don't try and work out all these songs exist in the same world.
I'm just trying to provide material to be built into the wiki that is still very much accepting editors.
Menace. Absolute menace. Please, get those tips in so we can make this fool dance like Spider-Man.
Oh, I forgot about the tips.
That's my one leverage over you.
Yes, it's true.
If I solicit tips.
But also the thing, it's not necessarily in my interest to say don't tip. You should tip. It's lovely to support this kind of event. But also, I really don't want to dance. So please tip up to £319.99. And I'll be happy. I'll be a happy old tell. I can buy a slice of lemon drizzle cake. Then die. And go to hell.
Our next song is My Favourite Fruit by BARRSTARD. Oh, I think BARRSTARD actually climbed down from BARRSTARD to Andy Barr, and I forgot to update the spreadsheet. A lot of people, I just put in verbatim what people put in the Google Forms.
I mean, so long as he's still representing Folkestone and still likes fruit, then I think it's all right by me.
Reception music is tipped £5. Moves like Wogan. There's the political will. There's the political
moves like
will.
Wogan. What's he saying about the way I move now? Please clarify.
Just saying that you move like Wogan. It's not, if you own yourself and love is love, then Wogan moves like Wogan.
I do move like me.
Yeah, there's
you
nothing
put it
more
like
to
that,
discuss.
You've got a point. Yes, fair enough.
This next donation, Asda Cafe workers tip £1. Terry Wogan beans diversion. I don't know if that's in support. It's just kind of descriptive.
Yeah, it's sort of neutral in terms of morality as a donation comment, and I appreciate it.
Just a neutral description, but I think pretty good. Without further ado, this is our fifth track, My Favourite Fruit by BARRSTARD, inspired by Ode to Your Favourite Fruit, representing Folkestone.
Lovely stuff.
I was asked to write a song about my favorite fruit, but it shames me to say that it's the apple. And I'm afraid of being basic, ashamed of being boring, ashamed of being tired and worn out, but it's the truth. An apple is a fruit, it's round and it's green, but sometimes it's red, and others it's russet, and a bad one cannot be allowed to spoil the barrel. This one keeps the doctor away, this one keeps the doctor away, this one tells you gravity exists and holds you down. This one came from market, 6 for a pound. This one came from Kazakhstan, down the Silk Road. And this one comes from Eden. in the arms of a snake.
And that
Lovely
was
stuff there.
BARRSTARD with my favourite fruit.
Very good. I hope to go for a picnic with that man within the next fortnight. Tell me, a BARRSTARD. Where did you get your haircut? Because it's very nice. I accidentally paid 3 times as much for a haircut the other week because I misheard what the man said at the beginning. That's a genuine story.
3 times as much as what? The actual.
I thought he said 13, and he actually charged me 39. Just way too much for a haircut.
Oh, so you didn't overpay by 300%. You tried to underpay by 300%.
I didn't try to underpay or lowball anyone. I just misheard him because you see, I'm an old man now, and I wasn't really paying attention. I just sort of walked in, and yes. Anyway, he got a cut in Deptford, which is lovely.
Was it a good
I got
cut?
in Deptford. Fine. Got a Galaxy Caramel. He gave me a Galaxy Caramel at the end.
What, he gave you a chocolate?
He gave me a whole chocolate, yes.
Do you think some of the price point factors in that you get a Galaxy Caramel?
I could have paid him less, or he could have charged less, and I could have just bought a Galaxy Caramel by myself. When you put it in those terms, it becomes rather depressing. What a lovely song, anyway. Well done.
I once went to, you can get free haircuts if people are like learning.
Yes.
And there was a free haircut from what was a very fancy barber's, and so I was thinking, this is such a fancy barber's that even like the trainee haircuts is probably going to be better than like the cheap and cheerful barbers that I normally go to.
Yes.
And I thought I'll do it on my way to a job interview. Go in, perfect new haircut, and then I go straight into this job interview. Like, you can't lose. But what I didn't realise is that people who are learning and doing their exam, they take ages, right? They go incredibly slowly. And so I'm having to negotiate this conversation with a very nervous German hairdresser. I think like he'd come over to the UK to learn hairdressing from this place.
So there was a language barrier as well.
No, you can speak English fine. But yeah, a little bit of like, don't talk too fast with my accent, I guess. But then I was saying I've got a job interview, and he was kind of saying, well, this is my job interview. So that doesn't trump what I'm doing. I won't hurry it up for your job interview because this is my job interview. And then we really became, you don't want to become enemies with your barber, but it was a real, a conflict of interest there.
How did it resolve?
I was late for my job interview.
Did you get the job?
Still got it. Yeah.
Nice. You know what?
0 hours. They never gave me any work.
It was the quality.
But I was hired. I was on the books. I got that 0 hours job. Yeah, that was my favourite fruit by BARRSTARD. Moving on with the competition. Entry number 6 is Just One More Thing by Jen and Rolo, inspired by Just One More Thing, representing the region of the sea.
Large area.
So without further ado, Just One More Thing, inspired by Just One More Thing.
Another dinner, all on my own. Candles out, the meal's gone cold. I keep staring at my telephone, hoping that you will come home. I know it's important what you do, but you don't see what you're putting me through. They all say Kate loves a mystery, but I can't solve why you're not here with me. Why you're not here with me. You gave me a wedding ring and I became weak. You told me just one more thing, but that thing was never me. I'm working to a deadline, but you're lying about our life. We're both out there solving crime, but you only ever call me your wife. Do I fill you with such shame? Why don't you ever tell them my name? Do they know what I look like at all? Why didn't you take me to the policeman's ball? You gave me a wedding ring and I became weak. You told me just one more thing, but that thing was never
And that was Just One More Thing by Jen and Rolo.
Spay and neuter your pets.
Huh?
The message.
What have you said?
Message of the song, yes. Right, carry on.
I don't want to learn why you said that. Just gonna move on. Remember, everyone, get voting. If you are voting, if you are late, please follow the following link on Morlvision and start handing out those cubes of admiration to the incredible work done by this community. We're moving on now to
fantastic stuff.
We're moving on now to the competitor from Hash. Track number 7 is That's Perfect Pizza by Master Arson featuring The Breeze, inspired by Italian cuisine. Without further ado, That's Perfect Pizza by Master Arson featuring The Breeze.
That's perfect pizza.
Georgia latte.
That's perfect pizza.
And Dutcher sausage.
And that's a perfect pizza.
Gorgonzola.
That's perfect pizza.
Anchovies. Anchovies.
That's perfect pizza.
Di Marzano tomato.
That's perfect pizza.
Double O flour.
That's perfect pizza.
Short and sweet, just like Mama used to make. That's perfect pizza.
Absolutely delicious.
You got a favourite pizza topping?
I was literally going to. You preempted me there, Sean. But yes, I've got many favourite pizza. I think my favourite pizza is probably cooked.
Did you say cooked?
Yes. I would like it raw. Much better cooked.
What?
I think everyone will agree.
What, raw dough with just some tomato on it and some
Oh, that
unmelted
wouldn't interest me at all. No, you have to put it in the oven, Sean. Then it becomes very tasty.
I'm not advertising it. I'm just understanding what the other option could be.
The other option is you don't put it in the oven.
Yeah.
I'd like someone in the chat just commenting saying Terry's brain is utterly fucked.
Let's move on.
I would like to go. Okay, fine. Let's just hear another song.
So the conversation always orbits this one point. Okay. Track number 8 is Jellyglitch by Fixpoints, inspired by the prompt Aspic, representing the Pacific Northwest. This has a little bit of flashing lights in it. Maybe enough that I'm pointing it out. You don't want too many flashing lights. There's not that much flashing. Maybe I'm being cautious. There's some flashing in this one. Strobe warning. I've let you know. So, this is track number 8 by Fixpoint, inspired by Aspic, representing the Pacific Northwest.
Bananas and salmon, purple peels, broccoli, apple broccoli, sausage and chicken and almond flakes. Aspic, looks just like plastic. Coconut, olives and tuna steaks. Aspic, looks just like plastic. parsley, pussy and sweet, beetroot and custard and chicken legs. Aspic, looks just like plastic, celery and coffee and boiled eggs. Pineapple, fish head pineapple, mushrooms and mango and cottage cheese. Aspic, looks just like plastic, tomatoes and pickled and strawberries. Aspic, looks just like plastic. 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 Aspic, looks just like plastic.
And that was Jellyglitch by Fixpoint. There simply aren't enough cubes in the world these days.
Oh,
you ever noticed that?
No. Well, yes. When I was younger, there used to be cubes everywhere. Cars were cubes. Food was cubes. Moon was a cube. Nowadays, nothing is a cube. Everything's a cylinder.
Yeah, or a pyramid.
Oh, don't get me started on pyramids, Sean. I'll be here 4 days.
Did you say 4 days or for 4 days?
Is there both? Oh, don't get me
Sarah
started.
Kay's just tipped £10. Dance like no one is watching. Well, apart from us.
Well, apart from 120 people.
Yeah, it's quite a lot to dance to, actually.
Quite a lot to dance to. Even at 50%
more people
speed.
than most people have the opportunity to dance to, whether they want to or not. You know, a lot of people who actually dance would love to dance in front of 120 people. And by that token, sort of a bit, selfish to turn it down.
That's true. Right. I should embrace my new career as a dancer. Doing the one... I've sort of been looking at the Spider-Man thing now, and it's like, I don't think I have the dexterity to do this.
Well...
I'm a very lazy man.
Do you want me to slow it down more?
Yes, please. But keep it on 30. I can't jump at 30% speed, but I can maybe do some of the other things.
Well, you could do the way up maybe a bit slower. Yeah, you're right. The descent is very much fixed speed.
I can do the way up slower and then compensate by doing other things at 160 times speed.
Okay, Spider-Man is smaller now, but I might also make him bigger. Just so
of course, he does have the advantage of having superpowers.
I don't know if this person has superpowers. I don't know if this is Spider-Man or just a dancer.
Well, either way, he's got a better body than I, and I have a fucked brain.
Stop it. Move on.
Next song, Sean.
Sam Schaefer has tipped £10. Terry Wogan's Brave Dancing, TWDB. Yeah, get that in the chat. Our next track is Time and Place by Josie Hypatia Grounds. She was given the prompt Too Many Fingers and is representing Czechoslovakia in the late 1960s. So without any further ado, this is Time and Place by Josie Hypatia Grounds.
If you've only got a pint glass to pour your whiskey into, you can never have too many fingers. If you've bought a big size Kit Kat, but you don't have 3 friends to share with, never have too many fingers. 2, 3, 4. Here's how you tell that we are prey animals. Even though our eyes are on the front of our heads, we blink them one at a time, time, time. Lower than 180 degrees to observe the teeth and claws of our predators. Don't worry, stay in one place, 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 place.
And that was Time and Place by Josie Hypatia Grounds.
Very good
Please.
song.
Yeah.
A lovely song. I did happen to spot the DVDs in the background. Was that 3 copies of Ang Lee's Hulk that you have there? You can just clarify that for me at any point in the chat, Josie. But a very good song, but just something that I happened to notice.
I believe Josie would be more than happy to clarify the precise nature of those DVDs. It is very much a thing. In the meantime, Morl Dance tipped £1. How much pound for Morl to dance? Just they teach you this when you're streaming. Just ignore the trolls. Just ignore the trolls. The background is some of my comic book collection. No Ang Lee Hulk, but approximately 35 Hulks. TOBs. Got to be some comics lingo. Oh, TPBS.
Terry Wogan. Terry Toby. Terry's old brain.
Stop it. Okay, moving on. Our next song is Take Off That Coat by Spleenorios Dotsone. Inspired by the prompt Animals Wearing Clothes. Representing Bear-Usalem. Not that Bear-Usalem, the other one. Without further ado,
referencing one of 35 possible Bear-Usalems in the King Morl universe.
From a completely different stream that we won't dwell on. Here is Take Off That Coat by Spleenorios Dotsone.
Is that an expression of shame that I make out? Does your species see clothes as a source of disgrace? Or is this anthropomorphism? Are they playing along or just breaking inside? Do goms strip away what remains if they fly? What Cause though they let us put a coat on when it's getting pretty cold, costumed Halloween, Christmas themes and party hats are all indulged. It's getting old. Take that hat off that Python, Mr. Jackson. Take those sneakers off that stallion, Mrs. Rose. If the truth be told, the guys all wanna know were they a joke to you? I don't want to wear clothes. They tell you I was wanted to wear clothes. They tell you I was wanted to wear clothes. They tell you I was wanted to wear clothes. They tell you. Keeping them dry or are you keeping them down? Do they have to dress up but you don't want them around? They might like to be naked. I do. Are you sharing their likeness? Isn't it earning you likes? Do you value your friend count more than your friend for life? How would they rate this? Though they let us put a coat on when it's getting pretty cold, stick a chip into their skin, it begins, but just how far now does it go? Take that coat off that ostrich, Mr. Parsons. Take that Burberry off that eagle, Mrs. Steele. Go look into their eyes. Now they've identified that they're a joke to you. I don't want to wear clothes. They tell you I don't want to wear clothes. They tell you I don't want to wear clothes. They tell you I don't want to wear clothes. They tell you.
That was Take Off That Coat by Spleenorios Dotsone.
Fantastic stuff. You know, I never really understood animals.
You want me to bite? Is that a lure? Is that a bait for me? Is that a trap? No way. Won't rise to it. I don't see it. I won't respond to it. Our next track is
Wide
Destination by Dominic Cummings. Inspired by the prompt Things That a Sat-Nav Would Say, representing the Amber Valley. This is Destination by Dominic Cummings.
Turn left, turn right, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn right, turn right, turn left, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn right, turn right, turn left, turn left, turn right, turn left. You've reached your destination. You're never going home. 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 In 300 yards, we're left on the A52. In 15 miles, follow the signs to Hofton's Cross. After the roundabout, watch for cameras at the side of the road. Shouldn't be driving after lifting a magic code.
Yes, it's the return of the navigation. Every single journey I never lost one. Drive you on a bend with the instruction. Always on final meditation. It's the return of the navigation. Every single journey I never lost one. Drive you on a bend with the instruction. Always on final meditation.
That was Destination by Dominic Cummings. As ever, voting is open. Put the cubes in for the things you respect.
Yes. Lots of food for thought for that one. With regards to voting, Sean, is there going to be a recap at the end of sorts for people to refresh their memories?
I think we can go through all. We can list through all the songs again. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
It'd be a lovely idea. So remember, you can vote whenever, but also if you wanted to save yourself for the end, then we will facilitate a recap for you.
Yeah, there'll be a recap and just a period of time where you can cast all your votes. How many cubes do you get? I think you get to rank every song. You get to rank every song out of 5. Five appreciation cubes. Just to let people know, we are going to do 2 more songs and then we'll take our interval. And then we'll be back with precisely the same amount. We'll hit halfway very soon.
Exciting.
If Wogan is indeed in the competition, we have 26 entrants, which is on par for a Eurovision final. So we gotta make some headway. So let's load up our very next song. This is Det Garat Hitta Någonting by Rikard Peterson, inspired by Something Will Be Found, representing Gotland.
Gotland, a small island off Sweden there.
Hey!
Very much a Swedish vibe from this whole ensemble.
Would someone smart and generous translate the title of this one? Something Will Be Found. The prompt Something Will Be Found in Swedish is Det Garat Hitta Någonting, which I'm doing my best on.
Very good.
So without further ado, here it is.
Försöka hitta ord och skriva en sång. För jag anmäld mig till en låtskrivargrej. Det kan ha varit dumt, det går inget bra. Jag har aldrig gjort något sånt här förut. Klura en del, prova något nytt. Bli distraherad av Twitter en stund. Men jag försöker igen hitta någonting. Det ska nog kunna bli något ändå. Ge inte upp. Ge inte upp. Det går att hitta någonting. Det lätta om ett tag. Ge inte upp. Ge inte upp. Det kanske inte verkar så, men det går att hitta någonting bra. Jag var i ett hål, det var ganska mörkt. Kunde inte se någon mening med mig. Men det var några år sedan, nu går det rätt bra. Jag hittar rätt och trivs med mitt liv. Ge inte upp. Ge inte upp. Det går Det går att hitta någonting bra. Det går att hitta någonting bra.
And that was Rikard Peterson with Det går att hitta någonting.
Splendid song. It's always nice when an entrant sings in their own language, I think.
I love it. I love projecting meaning onto it using clues and context.
Yes. Not actually speaking Swedish, we have no idea what he said, but it was very, very nice by my standards.
It added to the mystique. It added to the...
Absolutely.
The mystique.
I'd also like to quickly point out before we go to our next song, Sean, there is £25 left until Wogan has to dance. So just,
you've changed
just
tune.
bear that. Changed tune? Well, you talked me round to it, Sean. People would kill, and I mean really kill, for the chance that I've been given here to show off my moves, to pop my booty, and etc. You know. So I'm really going to. I've had a bit of a change of heart, my own little character arc.
Well, there you have it, from the mouth of Wogs himself. Get donating if you want Wogs to bust a Spider-Man styled move. With KingOfThyme saying that he really needs to piss in the Don't Piss subtitled Morlvision, it's probably time we move on to our last song in the first block before we go to our interval act. This is track number 13, In Case I Don't See You, by Jademalo. Inspired by the prompt Good Morning, Good Afternoon, Good Night with Stars, representing the region of Trumania. Now, I was given, Maggie FBK, thank you very much for £21.22. How close does that get us? Closer than anyone would like, I think. It will be pocket change away. Yes. We're in striking distance of you doing a dance. But in the meantime...
will admit, Sean, I will admit that I did think that what I was doing there was a very bit of clever reverse psychology. But again, it seems that my attempts to manipulate the outcomes of Twitch chat have fallen completely to the wayside, and I have failed.
As per, if I recall, any of our previous interactions. Yes, this is In Case I Don't See You by Jademalo. It does come with a little spoiler warning. It does spoil a significant chunk of the 1998 film The Truman Show, featuring Jim Carrey. That's pretty baked into the concept. So, St. Loud, for fuck's sake. Okay, this is the last track of the first half. In Case I Don't See You by Jademalo.
Good morning!
Morning! Good morning!
Oh, and in case I don't see you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Will drive Fiji, can't wait. I would like to book a flight. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. One of these. Goodbye.
Hi, honey. I got free. The chef's house. The dice are greater, pure, all in one. Why don't you let me fix you some of the spoon cocoa trick? I tasted other cocos. This is the best.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Will drive Fiji, can't wait. I would like to book a flight. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. One of these. Goodbye.
We've become bored with watching actors get lost from the emotions. We're tired of pyrotechnics and special effects. There's no more truth out there than there is in the world I created for you. Same lines, same things. But in my world, you have nothing to fear.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Will drive Fiji, can't Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Please. Away.
Talk to me. Say something.
Say something, goddammit. You're on television. You're live to the whole world.
In case I don't see ya.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And that was In Case I Don't See You by Jademalo.
Fantastic. Really, really good stuff.
That is our last competitor in the first half. Please don't go anywhere because we are going to do it all over again with an additional 13 entrants we have to get through in the second half. So I am going to get us onto our interval section where Terry Wogan has gladly agreed to read from the entire Eurovision Song Contest rulebook set to ambient music with a visual display of British pastoral paintings and famous explosion scenes from Hollywood movies.
That's right, Sean. My pleasure.
Don't go anywhere. 15-minute break, and then we do it all over again.
Section 1. EBU Co-Production. 1.1. International Co-Production. The Eurovision Song Contest, brackets, the ESC brackets, is an international co-production by broadcasting organisations having the status of members of the EBU, as defined under the EBU statutes, the members, which is carried out under the auspices of the European Broadcasting Union as part of the television programme exchange known as Eurovision, for the benefit of participating broadcasters and of the host broadcaster. The EBU appoints an executive supervisor, hereafter the ESC executive supervisor, to supervise the organisation of the ESC and the production of the shows and to oversee ESC operations throughout the year, as further detailed under these rules. 1.2. Number of participating broadcasters. A maximum of 44 members shall be allowed to participate. Members from a maximum total of 26 countries shall compete in the final. There shall be 6 guaranteed places therein, i.e., 1 for the producing organisation, i.e. the member which has won the preceding edition, 5 members from France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the United Kingdom. Subject to a decision by the EBU, in consultation with the reference group, the number of guaranteed places in the final may be modified depending on circumstances. Apart from the 6 broadcasters with guaranteed places, all participating broadcasters from a maximum of 38 countries shall compete in one of the semi-finals for the remaining places in the final. Section 2. Format. 2.1. Live prime-time entertainment shows. The ESC is traditionally composed of 3 live shows, 2 semi-finals on Tuesdays and on Thursdays, and 1 final, taking place on the Saturdays, annually in May, the country of the host broadcaster. The acts are performed during the shows in front of a live audience, and the shows are presented on stage, in both English and French, by the international presenters. The shows are produced and transmitted live by the host broadcaster, and are made available over the Eurovision network for live broadcast by the participating broadcasters. Each show is a state-of-the-art primetime entertainment program, world-class television production. It consists chiefly of successive live televised performances of songs by artists entered by the participating broadcasters to represent their countries, one after the other, between which short sequences are interspersed. Each song which competes in the ESCE shall be selected through a national selection to be organised by each participating broadcaster. The national selection is organised under the sole responsibility of the participating broadcaster in question. The outcome of the ESCE is decided by the votes casted by the national audiences and by national juries appointed in the countries of the participating broadcasters. During the televoting window and the time necessary to calculate the results, there shall be so-called interval acts, produced by the host broadcaster. The announcement of the results is generally followed from the so-called green room by the contestants having entered the ESCE. National commentary by commentators appointed by each of the participating broadcasters is added to the international version of the shows for broadcast in their respective countries, for which I am very glad. 2.2 Presentation of the acts. 2.2.1 Performances. 1. Performances in the shows. The allocation of the countries to the two semi-finals and the position of appearance of the host broadcaster in the final shall be decided by means of draws. The stage performance shall be identical in all second dress rehearsals and during the live shows. 2. Live performances on stage. All songs shall be performed live on stage, with a recorded backing track complying with the requirements listed under Part 3 hereafter. The lead singers of the selected song shall perform live on stage only. Eventual vocal supports for the leads shall perform live on or off stage only. All other backing vocals performing vocal harmonies may perform either live, on or off stage, and or on backtrack compliant to the requirements under Part 3 hereafter. Plugging instruments to play live on stage shall not be allowed. The host broadcaster and the ESC executive supervisor shall verify respect for this rule. Number 3. Backing tracks. The accompanying backing track may optionally contain backing vocals. However, the backing track in question shall not contain lead vocals, lead dubs, and or any other vocals that would have the effect of or aim at replacing or unduly assisting the lead vocals during the live performance on stage. In the case there are live backing vocals on or off stage as part of the act, they shall be mixed with the backing track's backing vocals, if any. 2.2.2 Songs. 1. Release date. The compositions must not have been commercially released before the release date. In case the composition has been made available to the public, for example, but not limited to, on online video platforms, social networks, or semi-public available accessible databanks, and or performed publicly, for example, but not limited to, during concerts, the participating broadcaster must inform the ESC executive supervisor, who shall have authority to evaluate whether the composition is eligible for participation in the event. In particular, the ESC executive supervisor shall assess whether such disclosure prior to the release date is likely to give to the composition an advantage in the event vis-à-vis the other compositions. The ESC executive supervisor shall authorize or deny participants of a composition which may have been available to the public as described above, subject to the prior approval of the reference group. 1. Duration. The maximum duration of each song is 3 minutes. Any song performance which is longer may be disqualified by the EBU after consultation with the reference group. 2. Language. Each participating broadcaster is free to decide the language in which his contestants will sing. 2.2.3 Artists. 1. Maximum number of artists. Each performance may consist of a maximum of 6 people on stage. No live animals shall be allowed on stage. 2. Age of artists. All contestants and artists competing in a semi-final must be aged at least 16 on the day of the final. All contestants and artists competing only in the final must be aged at least 16 on the day of the final. 3. Country representation. No contestant and or artist may compete for more than one country in the ESC on a given year. 2.3 Voting. The voting is compulsory in all of the countries of the participating broadcasters. Each participating broadcaster shall cooperate with a pan-European voting partner appointed by the EBU for the televoting and the national jury voting so as to ensure central control and verification of the results. All participating broadcasters are obliged to follow the agreed rules in relation to the voting, which shall be laid down in the official voting instructions. 2.3.1 Centralized televoting. Votes of national audiences. 1. Implementation. In the semi-final, all participating broadcasters presenting a song in the semi-final are obliged to implement the televoting system for that semi-final. The 6 participating broadcasters with guaranteed places in the final shall also implement the televoting system for the semi-final, which they are required to broadcast. In the final, all participating broadcasters are obliged to implement the televoting system for the final. 2. Modalities. Means of televoting. Viewers in the countries of the participating broadcasters are invited to vote for their favourite songs by means of televoting. No voting for its own country. Voters must be excluded from voting for their entry of their own country of residence. This must be made known to them. 2.3.2 Votes of national juries. 1. Implementation. In addition to the televoting, in each participating country there shall be a national jury to be appointed by that country's participating broadcaster to vote in the semi-finals and in the final. National juries shall vote in all countries and in all cases. In the semi-final, all participating broadcasters having a contestant in the semi-final shall ensure the national jury votes in that semi-final. The 6 participating broadcasters guaranteed places in the final shall also appoint a national jury to vote in the semi-final, which they are required to broadcast. In the final, all participating broadcasters shall appoint a national jury to vote in the final, even if their song is not selected to the final. Implementation of the compulsory televoting shall not exempt any participating broadcaster from appointing a national jury. The national juries shall not be allowed to vote for the song of their own country. 2. Composition and criteria. The composition of the national jury and the criteria with which the jury members shall comply shall be set out under the official voting instructions. When voting, jury members shall use all their professional skill and experience without favouring any contestant on the account of their nationality, gender or likeness, and shall be free from bias, external influence, or pressure. 2.3.3 Points. 1. National audiences. In each country, the song which has received the highest number of votes from the national audience shall be ranked first. The song which has received the second higher number of votes shall be ranked second, and so on until the last song. 2. National jury. The result members shall rank their first favourite song, second, their second favourite song, third, their favourite song, and so until the least favourite song shall be ranked. Abstentions are not allowed, except of the song representing the country of the participating broadcaster, which has appointed the national jury, shall be excluded from the. It is not allowed to award the same rights to 3. Award of the points in both the semi-finals and the final, it being for the national audiences or for the national juries. The results in each country shall be determined as follows. 12 points shall be allocated to the song having obtained the best rank. 10 points to the song having obtained the second best rank. 8 points to the song having obtained the third best rank. 7 points to the next. And so on down to 1 point for the song having obtained the 10th best rank. 2.4 Results. The points of the national audiences and of the national jury shall be combined according to a ratio which is determined by the EBU, subject to the reference group approval. For example, if the ratio is 50-50, the points of the national jury carry the same weight as the points of national audiences. 2.5 Presentation and announcement of the results. The results shall be announced once all the songs have been performed, after all the televoting window is closed, and the results have been calculated. 1. In the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, the international presenters shall announce the names of the countries which have been qualified from the semi-finals for the final. 2. In the final. The results of the national juries in each country are announced in turn by the spokesperson of each participating broadcaster clearly and distinctly in English or in French, or perhaps a jovial Irish brogue, stating the name of the country concerned and the points allocated by its national jury. The televoting results of the national audiences are announced by the international presenters. The televoting results of the national audiences for each song across all participating countries are added progressively to the scoreboard as long as the results are announced. The televoting points from the national audiences from all participating countries are combined with the points of the national juries, providing one combined score for each song. At the end of the process, the international presenters shall announce the winners. The contestants, songwriters, and participating broadcaster of the winning songs in the final shall receive the ESC trophy, and the transmission of the final shall end with a further performance of the winning songs. 3 winners. The respective winners of the semi-finals and of the final shall be the song which, according to all the information made available to the EBU by the pan-European voting partner, has obtained the highest number of points once the results of the national audiences and of the national juries have been added at the time of the announcement of the results.
And we are back. Welcome back to the second half of the Morlvision Song Contest. Rikard, F doesn't really stand for anything. It's just a letter that you put in the chat. It's just a letter you put in the chat. I actually can't explain it better than that.
Thanks.
Doesn't really have a set meaning.
Thank you everyone for sticking around during the interval.
Were you okay during that? You seemed more ill than usual.
Oh, no. It was probably just my brain damage.
Stop. So we have as many acts in this section as in the last. Keep your voting apparatus open. If for any reason it isn't working, please shout out in the chat. Someone, a technical assistant, will come and assist you. But in the meantime, I think we should start lining up the next track. Is everyone here? Is everyone ready? Is everyone excited for another 13 performers?
No, I am. I've got a little miniature EU flag here that I'm waving.
Yeah?
See it?
It's incredibly small. Is that for food or is that... What's that for?
Don't
Why
know.
is it so...
Got given it in Students' Union in 2014, and I've sort of hung on to it.
Yeah. Pretty good. Then, coming up next is Nothing is Impossible by Seagül-Dragön, inspired by Angela Merkel. That was their prompt, Angela Merkel, representing Zahardum. I don't know what this is. Elder Scrolls, the expanded Lord of the Rings universe? Not sure.
Find out together.
Harry Hardy suggests it's the Northern Independence Party. Let us all find out. This is Nothing is Impossible by Seagül-Dragön.
Take joint
asking yourselves, am I doing something because it is right, or simply because it's possible? Don't forget that freedom is never something that can be taken for granted. Surprise yourself with what is possible. Remember that openness always involves risks. Letting go of the old is part of the new beginning. And above all, nothing can be taken for granted. Everything is possible. Thank you. Asking yourselves, am I doing something because it is right, or simply because it's possible?
That was Nothing is Impossible by Seagül-Dragön.
Yes, very much so. Don't forget to leave H's in the chat for horses and F's in the chat for F's.
We've got it covered. And what we need next is our next track. This is The Things They Never Tell You by Ranch Car. Inspired by the prompt, The Things They Don't Tell You. In terms of region, this is a bit of a complicated one. It is representing Birmingham, Sheffield, but with Irish, German, Polish and Italian ancestry. Sam Schaefer, our resident flag scrivener, has built a flag out of all of those regions and transformed them into one noble city-state that competes with us here in Morlvision 2021. This is
Very
the
nice
things.
indeed.
This is The Things They Never Tell You by Ranch Car.
Of the earth, and I'm taking 7 pounds from behind the local Argos for a bite of you on my reasons. Like we were born underwater, boats bore ceaselessly to slaughter. We were nothing, there's nothing that would last. Hold the door open if you see someone coming through, and when you follow your heart, don't forget it's beating too. God loves a trier, maybe God's trying you. There are things they never tell you. They gentrified an already alright part of the city, drove up prices, drove out everyone. When the river started flooding, well, all of a sudden they took the money back to where it had come from. And I hope that you got out of the hometown that you hate. It's tried to say this, it's probably true. Nothing love could be a failure, heart of gold, mouth of a sailor. You are nothing but the best for you. Hold the door open if you see someone coming through, and when you follow your heart, don't forget it's beating too. God loves a trier, maybe God is trying you. There are things they never tell you. Say hello to wet dogs, or prune roses in bikinis, or get pregnant of a man with a large head. These are things they never tell you, but you still have to learn because some things are best left.
That was The Things They Never Tell You by Ranch Car.
Yes. Very good. I mean, the things that people have told me, that we have reached the donation incentive for me to do the Spider-Man dance. Is that right, Sean?
I think we should leave the Spider-Man dance for when we are allowing everyone to make their final votes at the end.
Fair enough.
Does that seem fair to you?
Be tied up to build an emotional barrier between the different parts of my brain that will need to...
Don't mention brain. Don't mention brain. And I have updated the tracker with the last stretch goal of the night. If we hit it, Morlvision will be confirmed for next year.
Oh, exciting.
If we get it, I'll have no choice, but we reconvene here in 1 year's time.
Will be legally obliged to appear and revive me from the dead once more in the ritual that he did.
You're not... Yeah, okay, less brain, less... next song, I think.
Yeah.
This is track number 16, I'm a Little Butterfly by Mono. Mono's prompt was the word contrast, and Mono is representing near the big Tesco. This is I'm a Little Butterfly by Mono.
No, this isn't really working. I need a better selection of animals here.
But I can still fly. I can eat anything. And I'll always feel fantastic.
That was I'm a Little Butterfly by Mono, inspired by the prompt Contrast.
Love butterflies. A misleading name, though. Yes.
How so? Do I want to know this? Do I want to ask this question? Why is it misleading?
Probably isn't worth it.
Moving on, we have we have Landschaft by Maggie FBK, inspired by the prompt Countryside, representing Indianapolis. Is that how you say this?
Indianapolis. That's right. Yes.
Indianapolis in Indiana. So
take it away.
Take it away. This is Landschaft by Maggie FBK. That was Landschaft by Maggie FBK. And of course, remember, have that other tab open, have that phone open, be voting, be passing along those cubes of respect.
Cows are funny old animals, aren't they, Sean?
I would have thought cows are probably one of the least interesting or amusing animals I have access to.
Yes. Well, remember, don't.
They're like non-reactive. Yeah. They just graze slowly in an enclosed area. Do you know what I mean? You can't do anything. They don't respond.
I set them up, you knock them down. Sorry, I set them up. Yeah, no, fair enough. I can't take issue with that, Sean. I can't take issue with that. Fair enough. Remember, you sacrificed a cow in the ritual to bring me back to life. Do you remember that? That was fun. Seemed to have disappeared. Maybe it's because I tempted fate by mentioning the cow that you sacrificed. Bring me back to life. Terry, have you ever been to Barnstable? Asks Caitlin. Yeah, it's a funny question. Funny question.
Not a funny question at all. Not a funny question at all. I'm back. Not funny. Our next track is Oh No by Harry Hardy, inspired by the prompt The Blessings of Elves. Harry is representing Northumberland. Catbox tipped £1. Terry Wogan's Dairy Baphomet. Don't want to inquire. Just more troll tips. Don't see them. Won't respond to them. This next track is Oh No by Harry Hardy, inspired by The Blessings of Elves.
Philip's got filled up this morning, was woken up one night by a gang of friendly elves under the lush moonlight. The elves asked Philip if he wanted their blessing to help him get ahead in life and make things less depressing. Philip said to the elves that would be fab. Please, I want some of your helpful stuff to make my life a breeze. The elves said, Philip, your wish has been accepted, but one word of advice, expect the unexpected. So Philip went to work next day and did the show with Holly. She noticed his fantastic mood and said, well, Phil, you're jolly. He told her all about his night and she thought his tale was fake. But before she could question it, they came out an ad break. They said hi to the fans and got on with the show. But Philip felt a draft happening below. Holly did a gasp and the cameraman was sick, cause Philip's trousers disappeared and you can see his dick! Oh no, Phil has been silly! He's thrown away his cushy job on ITV! Oh no, you won't see him anymore! No one will give him telly, we're not even Channel 4! Scope was so pissed off, he wanted to kill an elf for what they had done to his life, making him expose himself. The elves emerged from their hole and said, Philip, please, we only did the thing you said and made your life a breeze. Philip was so furious, that's not what I meant, you shits. I'm not allowed on telly now and my life is the pits. The elves just laughed and laughed and laughed and couldn't stop smiling, cause they only did this thing to Phil cause they love Ryland! Oh no, Phil is no longer a star, he won't be doing ads for We Buy Any Car! Oh no, his career will not survive, no one will give him telly, we're not even Channel 5! Oh no, his Tojo we did see, he'll only get a job now on bit.tv! Oh no, his career has a build, he'll only get a job now on Ideal World!
That was Oh No by Harry Hardy, inspired by the prompt The Blessings of Elves.
A very creative interpretation of the inspiration, but that's what we're here for, folks.
that is precisely what we are here for.
Yeah.
Now, to keep the night chugging along, let's move on to submission number 19. This is I Like It on a Boat by Ursula Windpipe, inspired by the prompt A Journey by Boat, representing the country of Sweden. So let's get listening. This is I Like It on My Boat by Ursula Windpipe.
When all of your world is so very small in size, when there's nothing but walls around, you gotta go outside. But I'm not ready to go outside. That's why I like it on my boat, taking a journey to who knows where. I like it on my boat, cause there's nothing better back there. I like it on my boat, taking a journey to who knows where. my boat. 'Cause there's nothing better back there. I like it on my boat. Taking a journey to who knows where. I like it on my boat. 'Cause there's nothing better back there. When all of your world is so very small in size. When there's nothing but walls around, gotta go outside. But I'm not ready to go outside. I like it on my boat. Taking a journey to who knows where. I like it on my boat. 'Cause there's nothing better back there. What I don't own a boat quite yet. I like it on my boat. Taking a journey to who knows where. I like it on my boat. 'Cause there's nothing better back there. I like it on my boat. Taking a journey to who knows where. I like it on my boat. 'Cause there's nothing better back there.
That was I Like It on My Boat by Ursula Windpipe.
Lovely, lovely upbeat song. Very cheerful.
You ever been on a boat?
I've been on 5 boats, Sean. I've been on 5 boats. Yeah.
Which one
Been
was
on-
the... Yeah? You can give me a list?
What was your question first, and I'll see if it leads onto my list.
I was just going to ask what was like your second favourite boat you've been on.
A second favourite, I'd have to say the Titanic.
I'm not falling for it. I'm not taking the bait. No way. No way. Next song. Not doing it. This is 20th entrant. This is a buffet food. Take a Bite by UTF. Inspired by the prompt buffet tables and representing Finland. This is Buffet Food. Take a Bite by UTF.
Here we go.
You've been waiting for some time, and I don't know exactly what to give you, but you know you're next in line, and so you'll watch and plan as we're preparing. On a platter looking finely tempting, I'd love to get to know you. Won't you take me by the hand? Things get messy. I hope that's what you're into. Take a bite, have a taste. Don't be scared to get what you want. Take a bite, have a taste. If there's anything left over, it's gonna go to waste. mix and match, enjoy it all. Variety, when everything's appealing. If it's not enough to fill you up and just come back again for seconds. Take a bite, have a taste. Don't be scared to get what you want. Take a bite, have a taste. If there's anything left over, it's gonna go to waste.
Kiev Alvan popcorn barbecue roasted pieces sandwich here for you. Southern fried paella with chorizo, pie coronation pizza, that's Apollo, drumstick salad, corn alternatives, Utief's chicken wrap, and service.
Take a bite, have a taste. Don't be scared to get what you want. Take a bite, have a taste. If there's anything left over, it's gonna go to waste.
That was Buffet Food, Take a Bite by Utief.
Good stuff. Some Lemon Demon vibes I got there. I don't know about you, Sean. Were you a fan of his?
Yeah, I like mouth sounds stuff now. I'm a big mouth sounds guy.
Oh, yes. He's had a very varied career. I got vibes from that. And it was a lovely song. Well done, Finland.
Well done to Finland. Raise a glass for you tonight. From Finland to a very different kind of place. This next song is coming in from a place called Respectville. Kind of place that I'd like to visit. This track is called Gravy and is by a group called Cheeky Half, in brackets Caitlin and Neversight, inspired by the prompts Gravy. Let's take a listen, shall we? This is Gravy by Cheeky Half.
Cornstarch, beef fat and vinegar, warming up millions, fresh from the boat. Granules of gravy make me feel whole when I'm underground and can't be discovered by humans. Gravy, you're my favourite food. You take the mediocre and you make it better. Gravy, you couldn't be improved. I wanna dive right in you over and over.
I'll kiss you outside the bread shed. Remember what you said about Ableton. I can't stomach gravy, the texture is awful. But I'll take the gravy train to hell and you'll be there.
Gravy,
I can't fucking stand you. I take you off my chips and you make it better.
Gravy, you couldn't be improved. I wanna dive right in you over and over.
Gravy is just meat juice. I can't wait to meet you. Hiding behind pillows, I can't see you. Gravy's nothing special. Is this artificial? Give me a call when you finish fixing up your pixels.
Gravy,
Can't
you're my
fucking stand
favourite
you.
food.
I take you off my chips and you make it better.
Gravy, you couldn't be improved. I wanna dive right in you over and over.
I've run out of bars.
That was Gravy by Cheeky Half.
And what a lovely song. And may I just say, what a lovely little cat as well.
Yeah?
I once had a cat. Yeah, I once had a cat, but it died so that I may live.
Did it dying directly affect you living?
Yes.
Are we talking like blood magic?
It was more like a sort of no, I'd say it's more like parts of its body were transposed into mine and vice versa.
Ah, not blood magic, just illegal surgery.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I have a cat's lungs.
Now that explains a lot about how there's not enough oxygen going to your brain.
I just took a drink of water and I started laughing.
Andy Barr says Terry Wogan's vivisection nightmares. That could be a good one for ITV.
EWVN in the chat, everyone.
Our next track. Yes, go on. You want to say more about your vivisection nightmare?
No. Carry on.
Our next track is Beautiful Stockport, coming in from Reception Music, inspired by the prompt OMG, Kate Bush is in, representing the Stockport Pyramid. This is Beautiful Stockport by Reception Music.
In a hat museum, last I heard she fled to New Zealand. Got Gordon Burns and Andy Burnham. Stockport kids are always learning. Cash converters, Mercury, Robinsons, Morrisons, Bradbury. Stockport now is Stockport then. We have no concept of when. Stockport is as Stockport was. In Stockport you are one of us.
That was Beautiful Stockport by Reception Music.
And beautiful it definitely was. Now don't forget, folks, that we're only £30 away from Morlvision 2022. If you've liked what you've seen tonight and anticipate continuing to like what you see tonight, then anticipate continuing to like something a year in advance from now.
And while also wanting to invest in that possibility by paying a fragment of £30. That's the precise state of mind you need to be in. And if you are there,
Nothing else. Nothing. No more, no less.
no more, no less than that precise confluence of dispositions and the ability to go to bit.ly/multip. You can ensure we do this all again in 1 year. We all shall meet again in this exact spot to listen to wonderful songs such as track number 23, Das Laird von MacGyver by Ben Swithin. This was inspired by the prompt Donkbab representing Wachenfeld Kierkegaard.
Very German entry, which is what we like to see.
This, I can tell you now, is an incredibly German entry. This is Das Laird von MacGyver by Ben Swithin.
Das Laird von MacGyver, Geschichte von Bienen. Laird von MacGyver, Raketen oder Bienen.
Hallo, ich bin Benno, ich lebe jung im Westen. Mein Geschlecht ist nicht Beyoncé, nicht oder Charlton Heston. Ich weiß nicht warum, ich bin der Angeklagte. Ich weiß nicht warum, die Prophezeiung sagte, ich muss der Laird sein. Ich will diese Rolle nicht, begrabe mich unter einer Erdschicht.
Geschichte des Geschlechts. Laird von MacGyver, aber ist das recht? Ich bin Maktheon, der starke Mann, der Jäger. Ich spüke auf das Kind, ich bin der Rankelleger. Aber gibt es Bienen in meinem Kammerleben? Ich werde eher König sein, das musste ich anstreben. Die Bienenkönigin ist die ich essen werde. Dann werde ich König sein. Ich bin ein Mörder. Schein oder Feuer. Laird von MacGyver, viel zu teuer. Oben in Schornstein, ich bin mit meinem Hunden. Ich singe ein altes Lied an einem Lehbunden. Laird von MacGyver, sei der König. Laird von MacGyver, ist der Honig. Plötzlich lerne ich von einem Algorithmus. Es gibt nur einen wahren König, er ist Jesus Christus.
Hallo, ich bin Jesus Christus, magst du etwas Tee? Ich mache Bienen aus Papier-Mâché. Vielen Dankeschön für das Kommen zu mir. Du bist sehr grausam, aber ich vergebe dir.
Ich schütte dich gegen den Jesus, nicht gegen die Bienen. Bienen vergeben nicht. Ich bin gestochen, der traurigste Knecht. Ich habe keine Einwände mehr gegen das nicht-binäre Geschlecht. Dein Geschlecht! Das Laird von MacGyver, Laird oder Laird von MacGyver, Damen oder Laird.
Ich bin Laird Benno, wieder der noch die. Ich bin das und ich mag Demokratie. Ich nehme den Job, jetzt bin ich das Laird. Ich werde reiten, das kleinste Pferd. Wir helfen den Armen, nicht die Bürgerlichen. Wir werden gerne alles, die Versorgungsunternehmen verstaatlichen.
Laird von MacGyver, das Laird von MacGyver, das Laird von MacGyver, das Laird.
That was Das Laird von MacGyver by Ben Swithin.
Yeah, self-explanatory, I think.
I got it. I follow it. Oh, Duggington has just tipped £5. Overwhelmed by the talent. Well done, everyone involved. You are all beautiful. I think,
yes, absolutely.
I think we can all echo that sentiment. The sheer amount of talent that is going on here is staggering. This is such a talented and strange community. And I am blessed. I am blessed to be a part of it.
I feel privileged to have been brought back from the dead to celebrate it.
I mean, you don't have to be brought back from the dead and just have the lungs of a cat to enjoy the stream. Hey, but it helps. Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't go for that. Theo has tipped £5. Play that funky Morlvision 2022 White Boy. Thank you very much. We are now closer than... Oh, in fact, less than £20 away. But, rather than me plug at ya, let's enjoy the next tune on the playlist. Track 24 is Runaway Lorry by Catbox. Inspired by the prompt, Runaway Lorry. This next act is representing North by Northumberland. Let's take it away. This is Runaway Lorry by Catbox.
Whoa, look at that lorry. That's a runaway lorry. Whoa, look at that. It's a runaway lorry. Hey, you guys seen this? It's a runaway lorry. Shit, that's a scary lorry.
A cement truck caused havoc when it rolled down a hill in Worcester, West Midlands. Driverless lorry ploughed through 5 garden walls, 2 parked cars and a lamppost. Guy Hallam, 56, who filmed the incident, said it was a miracle that no one was injured.
Hey, does this lorry look like it's running away to any of you?
Its cargo is love and its shipping is free. The lorry approaches and I start to feel the love that's inside taking the wheel.
I saw the incident, I caught it on camera on my morning commute. And to be honest, it's a miracle that no one was injured. It was just meters in front of the residents' homes. If it'd been during term time, there probably would have been children walking to school.
That was Runaway Lorry by Catbox.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was indeed. Now, we're closing in, Sean, towards the end of the competition. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's only one desired act left and then one that kind of snuck in at the last minute.
Yeah. People have spoken, Sean, and I'd be remiss not to sing for them now.
Yeah, we'll do it next. We'll just have the last one and then we'll do it next. You do have to get a dance out of the way before you go, though. We got to dance.
Okay, I'll do it.
Little Man at Titanic has tipped £5 and with a comment of C and a heart, presumably for Catbox.
Yes, well done,
Catbox. Before we talk about your trials and tribulations, we have one last act. This for community. I can't. I've got a lot of things to click and press. Catbox felt like a good guess at the time. This is our last contender of the night. Number 25 is Rat's Hands by Julian Smallbones. Inspired by the prompt, your lyrics must contain a palindrome representing Latvia. This is Rat's Hands by Julian Smallbones.
Darling, I love you more than even a rat. Rat's hands are like rubber bands. Flick 'em at your enemies in distant lands. Rat's brains are like cycle lines. Very controversial and not allowed on planes. Oh, rats. They don't live here, don't live there. Oh, rats. Take a look under your stare. Rats live on no evil star. My love for you is like a rat, eating all your cheese and getting chased by your cat. You and me could be like a pair of rats. Absolutely disgusting couple of hairy psychopaths are rats. They don't live here, don't live there. Oh, rats. Take a look under your stare. Rats live on no evil star. Clarinet silo.
That was our final competitor of the night. That was Rat's Hands by Julian Smallbones. Now, everyone playing, participating, watching at home, you all have a difficult, maybe even thankless task ahead of you. You need to develop opinions contrasting these individual masterpieces in terms of your own preference.
Basically,
if you
have to vote.
You have to vote. You have to go on the link just provided in the chat and provide different amounts of cubes of appreciation to your preferred performers. It's not easy, but it is going to be a lot easier on our end because previously there was a glitch where if anything tied, it broke, and we were very worried with the degree of quality and just the general positivity this was bound to engender that a lot of things would tie very highly and everything would break.
So let's hope that doesn't happen. Channel all of our goodwill and energy into it. I think we'll be safe.
Oh, Bjorn, let me read this properly. Bjorn Ulvaeus has tipped £5. Thank you for the music. And that, we have hit it. Morlvision will return. Morlvision 2022 confirmed. We will be back here next year. New Morlvision will happen.
Looks like we're going to have to find another cat to have my lungs, won't we, Sean?
And just while the puppy music is playing, let's take a little recap of everything we've heard tonight. Starting off with KingOfThyme with Extraño Calcetín, an ode to a sock. Then All Property is Citrus by Eddie Hurst, inspired by the prompt Get Away from Terry, He Is Mine. Then MT brings us Moon is Love, inspired by When the Moon Hits Your Eye, it leaves a moon-shaped bruise. Then Shopping Trip from Nicky and Nicky's Dad, inspired by Asda Cafe. My Favourite Fruit by BARRSTARD. Asked to make an ode to his favourite fruit, he did exactly that in a shared bedroom. Just One More Thing by Jen and Rolo examines the emotions of Mrs. Columbo. That's Perfect Pizza. If you could just bring up the puppy again. Thank you so much, Harry Hardy. That's Perfect Pizza by Master Arson featuring The Breeze. Short and sweet pizza ode. Jellyglitch by Fixpoints, inspired by Aspic. Aspic looks just like plastic. Time and Place by Josie Hypatia Grounds. Too Many Fingers. Trans Rights Baseball Bat. And a lovely triangle at the end. Take Off That Coat by Spleenorios Dotsone, inspired by animals wearing clothes, but also a passionate diatribe against it. Destination from Amber Valley by Dominic Cummings, inspired by things that a sat-nav would say, and feels like a 2 a.m. YouTube video. Then we've got Rikard Peterson with Det Gardet Hitta Någonting. I don't know what it's about. It's in Swedish. It's great. It's got a big, is it a bassoon? Big reed instrument in it. I love it.
Bass clarinet, I believe.
Bass clarinet's in it. Thank you so much, Cat Boxbo, for keeping the momentum going. Track number 13, In Case I Don't See You by Jademalo. Thank you very much for the follow, A Walking Clock. In Case I Don't See You by Jademalo, inspired by Good Morning, Good Afternoon, Good Nights with Stars. Then Nothing Is Impossible by Seagül-Dragön, inspired by Angela Merkel. Track number 15, The Things They Never Tell You by Ranch Car, representing Birmingham, Sheffield, Ireland, Germany, and Poland, and Italian. Then I'm a Little Butterfly by Mono, inspired by and containing a lot of contrast. Can you definitely hear me over this? Is this good? I don't want to. As long as you can hear me, okay. Because I'm trying to do a recap of everything, so we shouldn't drown it out with noise. I think. No, I don't think we should do this. I don't think we should do this because it's not fair on these people in the votes for them to. I don't think we should do this. I don't.
Remember how influencing the chat?
I've got no choice. It is okay. Well, I can't. I can't stop it once it started. Well, I guess I'll stop responding. I'll just pretend it's not happening. I'm a Little Butterfly by Mono, inspired by contrast, representing Near the Big Tesco. Then there's Landschaft by Maggie FBK, inspired by Countryside, representing Indianapolis, Indiana. Then there is Oh No by Harry Hardy, Inspired by the Blessing of Elves, this is a storytelling song about the downfall of Philip Schofield. Thank you, Padface, for following What a Time to join us. Then we have I Like It On My Boat by Ursula Windpipe, inspired by A Journey by Boat and representing the country of Sweden. Then we have Buffet Food Take a Bite by Uteef, inspired by buffet tables and representing Finland. Then we have Gravy by Cheeky Half, consisting of Caitlin and Neversight, and inspired by the prompt Gravy, representing Respectville. Beautiful Stockport by Reception Music, inspired by OMG, Kate Bush is in, representing the Stockport Pyramid. Das Laird von MacGyver by Ben Swithin, inspired by Donkbab, representing the area of Vackenfield Kierkegaard. Then we have penultimately Runaway Lorry by Catbox, inspired by the prompt Runaway Lorry, representing North by Northumberland. Rat's Hands by Julian Smallbones, inspired by Your Lyrics Must Contain a Palindrome, and representing the country of Latvia. Those are your choices. It is not an easy decision to make. There is wall-to-wall quality. Place your votes now, and while we do, thank you, The Mighty Shrub, for the follow. While we do, will we get a full top to bottom ranking? Not exhaustively, but you'll see a fair bit. You'll see the top half. Now, if I remember right, we had a pact, Terry, and you are now owing us a Spider-Man styled dance.
Yes, that's right.
I'm
just trying to think out how to do this. Okay. Because I'll need to be able to see the Spider-Man thing as I dance.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Up
done my
in the
best.
Discord call. Right. Bear in mind that when I do this, I won't be able to hear or see anything because I'll have to take my headphones out. And it's on a... And currently the call's on about 3 frames per second. I will try my best. What the chat demands.
I can maybe refresh your call. Hang on.
No, it's good now. It's fine now. If it gets me a chance to sing the song that I've been working on all my life, and really for what I was reanimated, then so be it.
Okay, if you do the dance, then I will allow you to sing a song in the Morlvision Song Contest. Does that seem fair?
Pact is sealed. Right. Here we go. Unbelievable. You make Spider-Man bigger? Oh, God. What's he doing?
That's not always clear. It's not always clear.
Doing that. Looking.
Yeah. He's alert, isn't he? He's famously alert. He's famously on edge, isn't he, Spider-Man?
Can't see if I'm...
Yeah, there's a lot of back to the camera. Doesn't make your life easy. Yeah, he's not looking back at the camera though. He's stalking forwards on his.
But I can't see what he's doing.
I'm just saying you're breaking immersion when you look back.
But I can't see what he's doing if I look.
Wogan wouldn't snap like this. Catbox Man's asked you to wear the flag.
Which one?
Yeah, and while he turns around, I'll just speed up. While he turns around, we'll just get this a bit faster. Yeah, doing pretty well. See, you've got this. You're completely in control. Yeah, you've got it. Yeah,
Right,
easy. That's the end. Okay, you did your best. I truly accept that you did your very best.
Oh, God.
And it's a thankless task. It's a thankless task copying Spider-Man's dance in the middle of the night. People are happy with it. They're saying it was worth every penny.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Sort of broken the character a bit there.
Yeah.
My headphones are now an absolute jumble. Thank you very much for donating so much money for me to humiliate myself in front of 120 strangers.
And as per agreement, you can participate in the Morlvision 2021 Song Contest.
Oh, it makes me so happy, Sean, like you wouldn't believe. Now, this song, I've spent the best part of 30 years working on.
This is
a real great emotional
30 years.
30 years, I say. A huge emotional thing that my whole life has been building towards. I poured my heart and soul into the song. I mean, I think it will speak for itself, Sean. I really do.
Okay, well, this is Terry Wogan with Let's Beyblade.
Picking up speed, running out of time, going head to head, it's a way of life. You gotta throw down, meet ground to get back up again. Let's Beyblade. Spinning it out at the speed of sound, gonna rip it up. Now the bet is down, we're the team with the bang. Our gang is the one that's gonna win. Let's Beyblade, Beyblade. Let's Beyblade. Let's Beyblade. Let's Beyblade. Let's Beyblade. Beyblade.
Taryn, you're telling me this is an all original song that you wrote for this competition?
As I said, I poured my heart and soul into writing this. It's my raison d'etre. A masterpiece.
Have you ever watched a television show called Beyblade?
What's a Beyblade?
Well, when you put the word Beyblade in the title of your song and several times in the lyrics, what does that word mean to you?
Beyblade?
Well, why did you sing about it?
I've never heard that word before, Sean.
You've said it. You said it in the song.
Could you speak up? I think I might not be getting you through the headphones.
You said Beyblade several times in the song.
Beyblade.
You say it constantly. You say it constantly in the song.
Beyblade.
Why are you saying Beyblade so much? Like you don't know what it is.
It's not jogging my memory, I'm afraid, Sean. I think you've made a mistake.
Have you heard the song that you sing? You say Beyblade. Right, you just repeat it right at the end over and over again.
Hang on, let me go over it again in my head. The speed of sound. Let's Beyblade. Let's Beyblade. No. Sorry.
Say the lyrics again. No, say the lyrics again now, out loud. Say the lyrics again now.
Right. Okay, fine. Spinning it out at the speed of sound.
Enunciate each one. You don't whisper it to
Spinning
yourself.
it out at the speed of sound. Gotta rip it up now. The bet is down. With the team with the bang, our gang is the one who's going to win.
Yes.
Beyblade.
Yes, let's Beyblade. Yes. What's Beyblade then?
Beyblade.
Because you're saying Beyblade, not me.
Beyblade. You get the audio file that I sent you? The
I
same
can
one.
bring the track in.
Play it again.
Let me look. Look. Let me move to the end here.
Let's Beyblade.
You just said Beyblade then?
Let's Beyblade.
And you've just said Beyblade again there.
Do you think it's because I was wearing a hat?
Is that you're out? Is that what you're trying to say? You said Beyblade because you put a hat on. You've been playing up all night. I'm trying to run a community art show here, and you can't go 10 minutes without talking about your brain damage. And I give you an inch, and you sing the Beyblade theme song. Don't get me started on the flag.
Caitlin, I can't put the hat on again because I had to borrow it. And while I was borrowing it, explain what I was doing. And the hat wasn't mine.
You're in big trouble.
Am I eligible to win?
No, you stole your song. You've got problems with your lungs and your brain. It's not right to rocket you to further fame. You're not well.
I think that I've done extremely well considering my severe brain damage.
Okay, let's find out who's won the Morlvision Song Contest 2021. Let's just throw to the results screen. Everyone, I want to say now, the voting is closing now. Essentially, is there anyone now? You got a small window to say, "Give me longer."
Very exciting.
I'm gonna shut it. I think.
Oh, here we go, boys and girls.
It's time. Voting. It's shut. It's ended.
Oh.
Currently, everyone has 0 points.
26-way tie.
It is currently a 26-way tie. Charlotte Gore was warned us it may not work at all. It might not work at all. So let's just go in. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a short list of songs that have points. Songs need to hit a certain threshold of cubes to have points, and I think it should remove 50 or more % of all the results. Might not work. I might click a button and we get nothing. Might just crash. But we are now going to progress to the short list of songs that have points.
Exciting.
Here we go. Valiant effort from all performers. Of course, all art is a miracle.
Oh, wow.
And we make fools of ourselves by trying to form it into a competition. This is our shortlist here. All people who have points. We will go through from lowest to highest until we have our winner. There might be some ties. The winner might be a tie. It's all automated. None of us, not even Charlotte, knows how to see these numbers quite now. We will all find out together as I click through this presentation.
This is real, raw results. We do not know the answers. No one does.
We haven't got a clue.
Well. Exciting.
We are now going to progress to the song with 1 point. This will be the lowest here, so this will be the... I don't know how many we've got here, about 10, so this will be 10th place.
We've got 12.
So that's Time and Spice has 1 point.
Oh, okay.
We are now moving on to the song with 2 points. Respectville moves up with 2 points. Please C's in the chat for Caitlin and Neversight for their valiant efforts.
Well done to all.
We now move on to the song with 3 points. That is BARRSTARD, representative of Folkestone. I have to remember I remember the this by places and not by people or song titles. That is Ode to My Favourite Fruit, or My Favourite Fruit.
And with a lovely haircut.
We are now progressing to song with 4 points to reveal, and I can't stress enough how much we went down to the wire with getting this thing to work. I'm so happy it works. Coming in at number 4, it is Healy, which was Love is Like the Moon.
Love is Like the Moon.
Is that right? Healy, yes, was MT with Moon is Love, based on the prompts. When the moon hits your eye, it leaves a moon-shaped bruise. To bring up a spreadsheet so I can... We're now progressing to the song with 5 points. That is Northumberland, which I think is Harry Hardy.
Oh yes, this was the song about Philip Schofield, was it not?
This is Oh No by Harry Hardy, The Blessing of Elves. The downfall of Philip Schofield. Now progressing to the song with 6 points. It is Sweden, which I believe is Ursula Windpipe with I Like It on My Boat.
Oh, lovely.
Prompt was A Journey by Boat.
Well
Very
done.
respectable scores all round here.
GCG's in the chat.
We're going to progress to the song with 7 points and reveal the top 3. We'll see how that works because we've got more than 4 here. That might imply some ties. Progressing to song with 7 points and top 3 reveal. That is Wachenfeld Kierkegaard. Comes in... I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure where the ties are. So I can't say what placement everything is. That will be clear at the end. Very respectable. Swiths in the chat. We're now going to progress to the song with 8 points and top 2 revealed. That is True Mania.
Oh, a lovely effort there from True Mania.
JM's in the chat. We're now going to progress to 10 and 12 points allocated, and this will also reveal the winner. So this is going to... We must have a tie here, because this should be 3 people, and we got 4, and we can work out where the tie is. It could be a 4-way tie. I don't really know how it works, but we should know everything now. We are revealing the rest of the results, including the winner of the Morlvision 2021 Song Contest. It is Derbyshire. I'm sort of confused at the 2 zeros. Charlotte will run interference, but I don't want to announce just yet, just before we know what these zeros mean, in case it means something. We have to hold fire. I don't want to make an announcement if it turns out to be wrong.
We quickly pad for time.
Yeah, how's it going? Cows are quite a interesting or funny animal, I think, now that I've had time to think about it.
You're rowing back on what you said previously. I want to know why the change of heart, Sean.
Oh, I looked at there's a little story today. The cows have got loose in Beverley.
I've been to Beverley.
You've been to Beverley?
I actually have been to Beverley, yes.
Right. It's a little market town known mostly for sheep trading historically.
Saw a play there in a church. It was called
what play?
Goodnight, Mr. Tom. It was called Goodnight, Mr. Tom. It was
Oh,
about
I've
a
heard of this one.
man called Mr. Tom, and he says goodnight. And other various things happen along the way.
I was going to say, sounds like a short play.
Yes. No, they pad it out a bit. I think that brevity is the soul of wit when it comes to.
Yeah, a lot of filler in that play.
stage.
It sounds like.
A lot of filler. 89 minutes of filler, I'd say.
Wow,
Beverly's
that's not
nice.
a bad play.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've had a nice time in Beverley twice. 2 nice times in Beverley, and a handful of bad times. Oh, I once got someone a birthday gift. It was a time when I was a teenager when we'd get each other like elaborately bad birthday gifts because no one really had any spending money, and we just took a joke we all did. Charlotte Gilbert's waiting to actually talk to us about the competition. Maybe that's more important than what happened to me in Beverley.
What's happening,
Hello.
Charlotte?
You're cleared for landing.
Hello. I've consulted with the computer, and there has been a small hiccup here. I don't quite understand how it's happened, but I can tell you that the scores as they stand are correct, and we have a winner. Derbyshire is the winner of Morlvision 2021.
There we go. We have a winner.
Congratulations, everybody. I'm very sorry for the two that I'm sorry for Gotland and Amber Valley. I don't know. You were the next in line, but so congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
I am sorry about the technical problems.
Not to worry,
That's fine. We got to the bottom of it.
A valiant effort. And we've all had a lovely time here tonight. We've had a lovely time. And congratulations once more to Derbyshire.
The winner is Nicky and Nicky's dad with Shopping Trip, based on the prompt Asda Cafe, representing the region of Derbyshire. And let's listen to it again.
Here we go. Take it away one more time, Sean.
Every childhood has a memory of Asda Cafe, where we would go with our grandparents in tow. No one ever talks of the bleeding knives and forks, or when Uncle Jim's eyes melted out of his soul. Every coffee in the cafe, every coffee in the cafe, every coffee in the cafe, they are spiked with LSD. We all turned a blind eye, I guess especially Uncle Jim, when the floor turned into an orgy of naked clowns. We still went every week, and we were swallowed whole by worms, and pipes out of their tails into the scones. Every coffee in the cafe, every coffee in the cafe, every coffee in the cafe, they are spiked with LSD. Drawn with a
Oh God, Beyblade's still here.
Beyblade is here to stay.
Stop it. And that was our deserved winner of Morlvision 2021. That was Nicky and Nicky's dad with Shopping Trip. And of course, the next Morlvision 2022, which is now confirmed, will come to you from Derbyshire. Thank you so much to everyone who participated and who contributed. Special thanks in particular to Charlotte Gilbert, who designed all the back-end voting and troubleshooted it the whole way through. Please, if we can get some CGs in the chat just to show some appreciation to the true martyr of Morlvision.
Absolutely. Stellar work.
And some TWs in the chat for my good friend Terry Wogan.
Oh, you're too kind, Sean. Anyone who is thinking of typing a TW in the chat, please type a BB for Beyblade.
Don't put any. I don't want to see any Beyblade, and I don't want to see any BDs Beyblade. Either. No BB and no BD, please.
Beyblade.
Terry Wogan's Beyblade. Let's get this song info gone. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who watched, everyone who supported, everyone who's part of the community. If you do want to participate and see more things we're up to in the future, please join our Discord. You can follow this channel. I think we've got a taste of community art stuff now, so there's a chance something like this might occur. Maybe not a music contest, but something like this might occur before a year's time. So if you want to be a part of that, just find our community. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me here. Join the Discord and you'll find out things we're planning. Thank you very much to 97 Marno for the follow. Terry Wogan, would you like to... Have you got anything to plug? You're welcome to drop character now and just do a curtain call if you like.
Oh, yes, very much. Well, of course, we're always looking for our editors on the wiki.
Okay.
I've been Benjamin Alborough. Thank you very much. Feels weird. I might slip back into Terry again.
It's hard after you've done so many hours as Terry.
Yeah, my throat is fucked.
I should say that Ben was talking to me as Terry before the show, and also when we were talking during the breaks and stuff, still Terry. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
that's masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a character that gains much from method acting, but we did it, and here are the results.
Did it anyway.
Anyway, my flag, made by Cum Genius. Thank you, Cum Genius, for my flag.
Yeah, CG's in the chat for Cum Genius.
Cum Genius. Thanks to Beyblades. Follow me on Twitter. And happy Eurovision.
Lastly, I want to say I will be contacting all the... Is Nicky still around, by the way? Has Nicky appeared in the chat to acknowledge their victory? Chat's moving maybe a bit too fast for me to tell. I will be contacting all the acts and asking what they'd be happy with us doing with all the art created. I'd like there to be a playlist of some kind. I'd quite like to put a copy of this online, this show. Maybe make a kind of private... Nicky has been here, but just isn't here at the moment. Maybe make a private YouTube thing, and also maybe make a Bandcamp album and just make that a Creative Commons. I'll try and make there be some artifacts.
Yeah, make it a collective decision as well, and what we do with that, because everyone's got their own entries.
Mm-hmm,
they want to do them.
And I don't mind if people want to do. I'm not using I don't mind if people want to do stuff with their thing. I just want to be able to collate them in a place that this community could enjoy in future. Perfect. I have been Sean Morley. This has been Morlvision 2021. Thank you very much to Paul23. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Could be XXX, but I think I've been kissed 3 times. £2.30. Wonderful night's entertainment. It's always good to just interpret things as beneficial to you.
Absolutely. My hair is soaked in brill cream. I'll just say that. Like my hair is soaked in brill cream and like temporary hair dye.
Well, I'm going to let you clean your hair off. I am going to go straight to sleep because this has been a lot of work. Thank you so much. I have been streaming only a little bit over a year, but the community that we've built together here and the stuff that it all makes genuinely makes me really happy and proud, and it's been emotional watching everyone make such good stuff and get excited together. It's really nice.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic little vote of confidence in the little community of this stream. And also Free Palestine.
And also Free Palestine, yeah. Boycott, divestments and sanctions.
Yeah. Sam Schaefer says, let pissing commence, and I fully agree with him.
Yeah. Let the pissing commence! Good night, and stay cool, everybody. Big up Derbyshire. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Piss the bed.